Hi there, I'm Joshua Howard from 180 Theory Hypnotherapy in Denver, Colorado. And in today's video, I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to help you to use hypnosis to create a time travel device of sorts. I'm going to allow you to visit yourself in 10 years, 5 years, and 3 years into the future. And help you to, more importantly than that, explore what that means for you right now. That said, I would like to point out that this video does have a little bit of expectation that you know some things about hypnosis, have experienced hypnosis before, and somewhat can go into trance without a lot of effort. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, or you haven't experienced trance a lot, you might consider watching one of my relaxation videos or one of my induction videos just to kind of see what hypnosis is like in a little bit more detail. So that said, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I want you to do is go ahead and just find a place on the wall in front of you to stare at. You could also stare at any place on this wall behind me. It doesn't really matter. Just find a spot that you can stare at. And go ahead and allow your attention to focus on that spot. And just hold your attention on that spot. And notice as you're staring at that spot, you don't have to blink. You don't have to move. You don't have to breathe. You don't have to do anything at all, except just allow yourself to stare at that spot as you notice how much more relaxed you're becoming. Noticing that as you're staring at that spot, your eyes are starting to get more and more heavy. Your eyelids start to get more and more heavy. It could feel as if there are sandbags or weights tied to every one of your eyelashes, helping to pull your eyelashes further and further down as you're finding yourself relaxing more and more. Because as you're staring at that spot on the wall, and you're paying attention to the words that I'm saying, you're feeling yourself wherever you're at, noticing every word I say as you're finding yourself relaxing more and more. And notice that it doesn't take a whole lot of effort for you to continue to stare at that spot, and for you to just keep your focus there as your eyes get more and more heavy and you find yourself relaxing more and more deeply. And you notice that the more you stare at that spot, the more tired your eyes become. And the more tired your eyes become, the easier it is for you to just let go. And notice that sometimes eyelids are like raindrops, and it's as if a raindrop can just fall down. And the rain can start to come down and down and down. And maybe it'll land on a leaf, and it'll sit there on that leaf. And that leaf will start to pool the water. And as the water pools, it'll get more and more collected. And as it gets more and more collected, it'll start to get into a bigger and bigger pool. And that pool will just eventually start to weigh down the leaf, just like your eyelids are weighed down now. And the pool of water will start to drift further and further down on that leaf until eventually it just drops deep into a trance. Just allow your eyes to gently close and relax now. And as you notice yourself relaxing and your eyes closing, just allow this state of relaxation to start to get more and more intense. And just allow yourself to let the world around you just go black. Just imagine yourself in an empty black space. And notice that as that space gets more and more intense for you, any external noises will only serve to put you deeper and deeper into this state. So notice that as this state is starting to increase, and your focus is starting to increase on it, my voice, this state, this experience, becomes more and more interesting to you. It's as if the rest of the world just drifts away. Now allow yourself to imagine that in front of you there's a staircase. Go ahead and walk toward the staircase. Walk toward the staircase in your mind. And as you get to the top of the staircase, go ahead and take in a nice, long, slow, deep breath. And as you release, go ahead and descend down the stairs, feeling your feet touching each of the stairs, feeling whatever temperature the staircase is. Maybe it's light and cool. Maybe you can feel a light, cool breeze. Or maybe there's a certain warmth to it, like walking into the subways in New York. Or just notice what it's like as you feel your feet walking down the stairs. You feel your hands doing whatever they're doing. Just allow yourself to just relax as you're walking down the stairs. And as you get to that level, as you get to the bottom of those stairs, notice that you're on level A. This is the first level of relaxation in your mind. I want you to go ahead and walk a little bit further and notice that in front of you appears a staircase that goes to level B. Walk to the top of the staircase and take in a nice, long, slow, deep breath. And as you release, go ahead and descend the stairs. Let yourself go down further and further, letting yourself just relax as deeply as you can as you notice the feeling of your feet walking down the stairs, anything that you smell. And just allow yourself to walk down that staircase. And as you do, notice that the staircase eventually comes to an end, and you find yourself in level B. Go ahead and take a look around in level B. And notice that somewhere around you, maybe to the left, maybe to the right, there is a door. And I want you to go ahead and walk toward that door. As you walk toward that door, I want you to notice that there's a gold number 10 inscribed on the door. So I want you to go ahead and open the door. And notice that as you walk inside the door, you see something you may have not have been expecting. You see a laboratory. And inside this laboratory, you notice that there's a giant machine. It kind of looks like Santa Claus's sleigh. I want you to look around and just notice that as you look around, you're completely alone in this room. I want you to look around and notice what's in the room. Just pay careful attention to it. Sometimes it can be hard to visualize things like this. Just let your imagination show you whatever it shows you. Sometimes people just see squiggly lines, or just have the idea or floating words. And sometimes people have fully spelled out pictures. It doesn't really matter which one you have. Just allow yourself to enjoy what the experience is. And go ahead and allow yourself to walk forward. Allow yourself to walk into that giant sled. And go ahead and sit down in it. And notice as you look around, there's a certain panel. And on that panel is written the year. I want you to look down and notice that it's the current year. And also notice as your hand goes down and begins to move the dial so that it's 10 years in the future from now. And once you've made that adjustment so that the dial says it's 10 years in the future from now, I want you to look around and notice that there's a big lever. The lever may be blue, red, black, pink, translucent. It's not important what color it is. What's important is that you reach out your hands, interlock both of your hands around that lever, and pull it down. Pull it down. Then notice what it's like as the world around you starts to shift, and you hear humming and buzzing noises all around you, and the humming and buzzing noises are going all around you. And just notice what it's like as they progressively come to a gentle stop. And the world stops in front of you. And you're in the same laboratory. You go ahead and just get up and walk out of the sled. And I want you to walk toward that door that earlier said 10. And now, go ahead and open that door. And as you open the door, I want you to walk out into your life 10 years in the future from now. 10 years in the future from now, I want you to look down, notice what you're wearing. Take a look at your hands. Take a look from left to right. Try to notice what city you're in. Are you inside or outside? Are you at a business? Are you at your home? Are you on the beach? What are you doing? Just take a look around and just give yourself a moment to assess where you're at and what you're doing. In 10 years in the future, where are you at and what are you doing? That's right. Take in this recognition of yourself. Take in this recognition of yourself. Think about where you were at. Just allow yourself to really experience this. I want you to go ahead and let yourself live a day in the life of you 10 years in the future. So go ahead and allow yourself to imagine that you're opening your eyes and waking up in your bed. What does your bedroom look like? Take a look around to the left, to the right. What does your bedroom smell like? Are there any interesting noises going around? Do you hear the familiar hum of a humidifier or an air purifier? Do you smell the smell of incense or essential oils? Maybe cooking. Maybe you smell breakfast. What is it that you're experiencing here in your bed? Allow yourself to just get up and see what your normal morning routine is. You get up and brush your teeth? Or do you hop in the shower? Do you kiss your spouse? Do you eat breakfast? What do you do? In what order? And just allow yourself to go ahead and experience that now. And just let yourself think about that. And let yourself really live out that morning. And then I want you to notice yourself going about your day. Do you go and get in your car and drive to work? Do you hop on the subway and flash to work? Do you sit down at your computer to work from home? Are you retired? What are you doing for a living? What are you doing with your life? And go ahead and just allow yourself to enjoy a normal weekday. Enjoy a normal weekday morning. Just see what happens. And then check back in with yourself around noon. Where are you at? Are you having lunch? Where are you having lunch? Are you eating with friends, coworkers, by yourself? Are you at your desk? What are you doing? Allow your day to continue unfolding in through the evening, just checking in here and there, noticing what you're doing, when and where. And go ahead and just notice how all this is making you feel. Just notice how you feel about all of this as you're a passive observer, just noticing what's going on. And allow yourself to drift a little bit further into the day. What do you do in the evening? Do you continue working? Do you go home? Do you go work out? What do you do? Where do you go? And just let yourself check in with this, and check in with yourself. As time flies into the evening, where are you at in the later evening? When do you finally make it home? Do you have a spouse waiting for you? A hot date? Or do you really enjoy your solitude? Just notice what it is that you're seeing, what it is that you're noticing. And just allow yourself to really see what's going on. And then I want you to drift to a day that's a weekend or whatever is your day off in this time period. And drift to a day off. Just see what that's like. What's it like when you wake up on your day off? What's it like when you get up? And what are you doing on your day off? How are you spending your day? Who are you spending it with? How are you feeling throughout your day? How do you feel about days off? I want you to really check in, assess this whole situation about the day off. I'm going to give you a minute to just enjoy it. Just check in with whatever you need to check in with. Notice whatever you need to notice. Excellent. Now just allow yourself to take in a nice, long, slow, deep breath. And release. And notice that you take in another nice, long, slow, deep breath. And release. That you find yourself back in the laboratory, back in that sleigh. And this time, the date is 5 years from the present date. Go ahead and reach out and pull the lever. Notice what it's like as the world starts to whir and buzz all around you. And just notice the world whirring and buzzing and spinning, doing whatever it does as you time travel, so that you're 5 years ahead of the present day. And as you do, just notice that everything starts to slow back down and everything becomes stationary again. You find yourself there just walking toward the door. Walking toward that door, knowing that as soon as you open the door on the outside of the laboratory, that you will be in your future 5 years from the present moment. So go ahead and open the door and see where you're at. Notice what you're wearing, what you're doing. Notice if you have a spouse or significant other, who they are. Allow yourself to really just think about your life. Where are you at? What are you doing? Who are you with? How much money are you making? What city do you live in? What state? What country? What does everything in your life look like? And again, I'm going to give you a moment to just take a look. Just explore what's going on. That's right. Now notice that after you've explored what your life looks like in 5 years, you notice that you have certain feelings about it, certain beliefs about it, certain recollections based on your expectations. And now, want you to really just allow yourself to feel what you feel about this. Think what you think about it. Just allow yourself to think and feel about what it's like to notice where you're at 5 years in the future. Excellent. Just go ahead and take a moment to just let yourself do that now. Excellent. So go ahead and let the scene in front of you fade into black. And notice that where you're standing is the year that it is 5 years from the present day. And notice that if you look behind you, you can see all the way down your past. And then if you look in front of you, you can see into the future that you saw earlier at 10 years, and even further into 20, 30, 40 years. I want you to go ahead and turn around so that you're facing behind you. And I want you to walk down that line. Just keep walking down that line until you get to the moment where you're 3 years from the present moment. So just keep walking down that line until you get there. And once you get there, just allow yourself to go inside. Go inside that moment 3 years in the future from now. And just really let yourself explore what's going on. See what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel. And really just let yourself explore. What are you doing? Who are you with? How much money do you make? Is this what you planned? How close are you achieving your goals? Just really let yourself explore that. Explore what a weekday looks like, explore what a weekend looks like, or explore what a work day and a day off looks like, depending on your lifestyle. And just really let yourself explore what your life looks like. Excellent. I want you to take a nice, long, slow, deep breath. And as you release, just let the scene fade to black. And notice that timeline appears in front of you again. And I want you to look down the timeline, back to the present moment. And notice that laid out in front of you are 10 steps. 10 steps, maybe like you're playing hopscotch. And if you feel like playing hopscotch, feel free. But just notice that there are 10 labeled steps in front of you. And notice that as I count down from 10 to 1, you can walk or hopscotch through those 10 marked steps. And that when I say the number 1, you'll find yourself back in your body, back in the present moment, and back here ready to have a discussion about what you learned and what this means for you. So go ahead and take a look down that line and get ready. Taking a nice, long, slow, deep breath. And as you exhale, just start walking. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And notice yourself back in your body, back here, ready to have a little bit of a conversation about this whole thing. And really to discuss what was important about that, what you learned, and anything like that. I hope you found that to be an interesting hypnosis experience. I really like to take people through it backwards because I like people to see, where they think they're at far away, and then in the middle, and then closer. You may have found a couple of things happen. For some people, when you look out in the future, your 10-year goals are exactly where you want them to be. You're just where you want to be, and it's a very happy experience for you. Your 5-year goals are right there and they're on point, and your 3-year goals are right there and they're on point. And I would say that if that's the case, either you're probably a very optimistic person to begin with, or you have already pretty well mapped out your goals and you have a lot of confidence that you can achieve them. And if that's the case, That is awesome. And I would recommend that you stay tuned through the rest of this video because I have a little hypnotic treat for you at the end. But for people that found themselves not really where they wanted to be in the 10-year, 5-year, or 3-year positions, something that I want you to start thinking about is, how far away are you from where you wanted to be in 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years? And also, how do you feel about that? Because, you may have found yourself not at all where you thought you wanted to be in 10 years, but you actually really loved it. And if that's the case, then, let yourself explore that. Maybe there's something flawed about the way that you were thinking about your 10-year plan to begin with. Maybe there's something in there deeper for you and something that could be explored more deeply. And if that's the case, I definitely hope that you try to find some way to explore yourself and what you're really hoping for on a deeper level. I definitely would recommend hypnosis for that. And feel free to call me based on the information in the box below if that's something you're interested in. But also make sure to check out my YouTube channel because at the current moment I don't, but I'm going to put up some other videos, a lot of other videos about self-exploratory hypnosis. And so that would be something to take a look at. And also take a look at the resources that are already available. Because if you're finding yourself in a position where your conscious 10-year goals don't match your unconscious 10-year goals, you're going to have conflict in your life, one, and two, there might be a condition in which you're overlooking something important about yourself. And that would be the reason I would explore self-exploratory things in general, is just to see if there's anything that you're missing or anything that could be added to, worked on, developed, anything like that. Also that conflict in there means that you may not have as much awareness of yourself as you think that you do, or you may have certain types of conflicts that you're not aware of. That said, something to look into. Next, if you find yourself looking out at your 3, 5, and 10-year goals and finding yourself not where you want to be and unhappy about it, then there's a lot of other things that could be going on. It could be that your goal is actually impossible. This isn't the case for most people, but sometimes it is. There are certain goals that once you get past a certain age or past a certain physicality, it's just not going to happen. Most people in their mid-40s aren't just going to walk into a modeling career. They're probably not going to become a supermodel. I mean, it may be possible, but it's so unlikely that it's something that may be a flaw in the plan and not so much in the execution. Because sometimes we set goals for ourselves that are impossible, and we do this for lots of reasons, and kind of the spectrum of reasons would begin with, well, I believe I can, and I'm going to do it anyway because I'm really hard-headed, all the way to I actually have a huge fear of succeeding or failing at anything, so if I take on a goal I actually know I'm going to fail at, then I never actually have to struggle with trying to succeed and failing at something, serious. And, and I say that's a spectrum because, most of the time people in this camp are going to be somewhere between those two. And, it doesn't, the latter half doesn't necessarily mean that you're open to completely sabotaging yourself and you're done with everything. Or that, you're totally just like straight up lying to yourself. It could be that on a certain level you're not aware of the fact that you're doing that. A lot of our unconscious issues are things that we're not fully aware of. And likewise, I would say to you that if you're in a position where your 10-year goals look differently to you from this exercise than they do on a conscious level, and you don't feel good about it, you might also believe that you don't deserve, shouldn't get, or just can't have for some reason your goals. And so that's another place to really check in with yourself. Do you believe you're worthy of your goals? Do you believe you're the kind of person that can get them? And what skill sets or things do you believe that you're lacking? What do you think that you're missing? What's holding you back from getting those goals? And see, the answers to all of these questions on the negative side are really going to start to help you find not the path necessarily to your ideal goals, but rather the things that are blocking you from them. And that's what's important, is once you can start to identify these blocks, and that's something you can work on. And so, I don't want to leave you with too much of a headspin, but I'd like to leave you with just a little thought here of what is coming up when you're thinking and feeling about your future, and how does that make you think and feel about your present? And, from there, that's a good starting point to notice what's blocking you. If you feel like you can't achieve any of your goals and everything in life sucks and everybody's against you and your whole path is hindered, that's a very deep block. And that level of blockage is going to create situations in which it's very, very hard to get out of. And that's something that you might want to approach, a traditional or an alternative therapy for, maybe some coaching, look into some, personal development stuff, anything like that. And now, as I said, that if you look down your 10-year goals and you found that you really liked it, I had a hypnotic treat for you. Here's that hypnotic treat. I want you to go ahead and stare at this wall behind me on the video again, and take in a nice, long, slow, deep breath. And as you release, just close your eyes. And as an act of will, allow yourself to just relax back into that state you were in just a few moments ago when you were exploring your future. And as you do, just let yourself drift further and further down. And notice that you're able to get back to that empty black space. And notice that in front of you this time appears a nice long escalator. I want you to go ahead and stand on that escalator and start to go down, further and further down, until you're twice as relaxed as you were before. And notice that the escalator gets longer and longer, depending on how much time you need to just let yourself go all the way down. Notice yourself just drifting down the escalator until it gets to the very end and you walk off. And notice that in that moment of relaxation, you're in another level, another black area. And notice that in front of you appears that timeline, that line where you can look to the left and see into the past, and into the right and see into the future. I want you to go ahead and stand on the present moment on that timeline and kneel down like a track runner. And if you're familiar with Sonic the Hedgehog or Scooby-Doo or any of the other cartoons that start to get their legs running really, really fast, like wheels burning out before they run, go ahead and allow yourself to do that now. Allow yourself to see yourself as Sonic or Scooby-Doo or just any creature that has its legs running around really, really fast. And notice that as you look out in front of you, you can see the future 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years from now. And I want you to look out and notice that along the way, there might be some little blocks or hurdles that come up. I want you to notice that as you're looking out, some little blocks and hurdles come up. And go ahead and just keep spinning those legs faster and faster, watching those hurdles and blocks come up. And as you see them come up, I want you to go ahead and just release and start running so fast from here all the way to the end of your timeline, noticing that all the blocks that arise for you just blow up as you run through them. You're overpowering them, dominating them, conquering them, headed fast, quick, and suddenly for the future that you've planned. Just notice yourself feeling yourself destroying all of those blocks, and how proud of yourself you are, and how fast you're running, and how great you feel. And just notice all of those great feelings. And as you do, I want you to go ahead and touch your right thumb and forefinger together and hold that feeling in there knowing that anytime you touch your right thumb and forefinger together, you can get back this feeling of pride, this feeling of power, this feeling of dominance, this feeling of confidence that you can overcome and conquer anything that comes up along your way. And as you do, go ahead and release your fingers, taking a nice, long, slow, deep breath, and release. And now I'm going to count from 10 to 1. And when I say the number 1, open your eyes and find yourself wide awake, feeling confident and powerful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope this was an interesting exploration for you. I really like using hypnosis as an exploratory device. I think it's really fascinating, but you have to let yourself go with it. So I hope you were able to let yourself go with it, experience these experiences, and really were able to, as we hypnotists call it, meta-analyze and meta-critique the experience that you had, to step back and really critique it. I hope this gave you something interesting to think about this week. If you found the video interesting, definitely make sure that you subscribe to my page down below. Please feel free to share this video with anybody that you think it would benefit or would find it interesting, sharing anything like that. And if you're in Denver and you're interested in a more personalized exploratory hypnosis session or hypnosis for anything else, go ahead and give me a call based on the information that's down below. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.